Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Man, it's been a while since I've done these types of videos, huh? Anyway, today we're going to be reviewing this First Alert SA710 photoelectric smoke alarm. This alarm is battery operated, so that means you can literally install it anywhere without having to wire it up, with the main con of it not being able to interconnect it with others. And this alarm also contains a photoelectric sensor, which is most sensitive for smoke particles from slow smoldering fires. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this alarm's design. The plastic on this alarm is very thick, which is always a very good sign. The horn on it looks great. I'm definitely glad to see a good quality horn. This alarm takes a 9-volt battery, and the battery replacement method is actually really easy. So if you look at the side of this alarm, you might notice a little lump here. That is actually the battery drawer. You just pull that, and that's where you get your 9-volt battery. You go ahead and you take it out, and you get a new battery, and then close it up, and then your alarm will be running again. Of course, test it when you replace the battery just to ensure it's working. And these are the side vents on how the smoke enters. If I'm being honest, I really like this design. It gives you very fast smoke detection, with at the same time protecting the alarm itself from dust. And over here, you can actually see the photoelectric sensor in there. And if you pay close attention, you can actually see a little screen around the sensor itself, which is even better. So not only you have this protecting the photoelectric sensor, you also have the sensor itself, the little screen around it, and that will also protect it from dust. So that is pretty freaking awesome with this unit. Here's the alarm's mounting base. Very nice quality, I should say. A lot of options to mount this alarm, and thanks to this alarm's design, you have a lot of space for perfect alignment, because look, I'm right about to mount it, and look at that. You don't even have to twist it entirely. You could just do this, and it's locked. Like literally. You can literally move it to anywhere you want if you are picky with it being aligned. So that's pretty awesome. What's also really nice about this alarm is that this alarm has optional theft prevention locks, which are on this mounting base. If you want to use them, you can just pop out these locks on the mounting base, and you can refer to the manual on how to install these. One lock is for the alarm's battery drawer and to lock this alarm onto the mounting base. So you can use those locks if you're ever worried about this alarm being tampered with. And as you probably saw, the visual indicator on this alarm is rather small, but it's really bright, which is very good. You can easily tell if this thing is operating at a distance without having to manually push the button, which is pretty awesome. The test sequence on this alarm is pretty simple. It's just a simple press and hold to test, which I'll go ahead and demonstrate. There we have it. There you have it. That is the alarm's design reviewed. Now I'm going to be giving it an actual test. I'm going to be smoke testing it with my canned smoke. I will not be using real smoke, as that's going to be way too dangerous to set up. So let's go ahead and mount this alarm on ceiling, and we'll give it a quick smoke test. Here's the testing setup. This alarm is now on the ceiling, ready to go. And over here is my can of smoke saver, which I'll be using to simulate a real fire emergency. This test will be split in multiple categories as follows. One of them be the number of sprays, and 2, alarm response time. I will also be testing the hush feature on this alarm to ensure that this alarm will stop sounding when the hush button is pushed. Let's get this test underway. As you saw, the alarm was able to detect the canned smoke. The alarm operation on this was very good. it actually detected it almost immediately. It literally sensed it in just a few seconds, and it was able to stop sounding shortly after the hush button was pushed. This has been a full review and test of the First Alert SA710 photoelectric smoke alarm. On a rating scale of 1 being the worst and 10 being the best alarm, I'm honestly going to give this alarm a 10 out of 10, to be honest. Oh, I saw nothing but absolute positives on this alarm. Now, although the visual indicator is quite small, it is very, very bright. As well, the horn on this thing is incredibly loud too. And as well as the very, very easy battery replacement method, literally everything about it is perfect. It's kind of sad that this alarm was discontinued, but hey, there are some other decent options out there, so it's not a massive bummer. But other than that, this alarm is definitely very, very high in my recommended list, and I highly recommend this alarm for a home and small commercial settings, such as apartments and hotels. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this alarm and if you'll buy one. And if there's an alarm that you want me to review, let me know in the comments. And if I happen to have that alarm in my collection, I will very gladly review it for you. So yeah, that's going to do it. And thank you all for watching. And I will see you again soon.